whole no-till thing is trying to become more popular. This guy's been doing it. You can't do it on a large scale, right? When you mass farm tens of thousands of acres, like you get these big plows in here.
Right, it's probably easier, I'm sure.
It's definitely easier, but now there's, again, technology's a great thing. They're starting to make machinery that simulates a no-till, right? It plows but doesn't till, doesn't turn up. Because again, if you ever the Dust Bowl, right?
Oh yeah,
the Dust Bowl. That again, they estimated that we lost like 8% of our of the United States topsoil just during the yeah. It's crazy. And once topsoil is gone,
it's gone.
You can't replenish it.
Right.
So anyway, this guy just had to bury like 140,000 pounds of onions because of supply chain.
Wow.
Could not. He's like, either I have to go buy my own trucks and truck it to these places. He said because there's nobody that's come and get it.
That's nuts.
You know, truckers turnarounds aren't happening like they've had in the past. You know, we planted this shit a year ago.
Right, you gotta, yeah.
You know, we have to get out the ground so we can replant.
Right, yeah, you gotta harvest it, right.
So it sat in the warehouse, and he was literally sitting on a ginormous warehouse of onions, talking, and he's like, "So if your onion prices go up in the next,
this is why.
This because I am one of many,
right?
And I am like nothing.
That's crazy.
And this is what I have to do. So can you imagine if people are doing this at large? And he's like, literally, he's like, this is all lost revenue.
That's crazy.
You know, like.
I'm sure he probably sold some locally, like to his local supermarkets.
He gave it away locally.
Really?
He put, and of course he's making content.
Oh,
so hopefully he's making some money back on his YouTubes and his social media stuff. But he called, and another guy he also does asparagus, and could not find workers
to
come in and harvest it in enough time to ship it. So he put out a thing and he said, if you pick it, it's yours.
No shit.
Yep. And he does it a lot. It's kind of it's just shit like that like conspiracy. Like it's hard for me to believe that everything, when you isolate it, for it to be a conspiracy. But when you look at it on at 10,000 feet, you go. Tell me, all these chicken farms and all these fertilizer places burn at the same time or the same month.
But if they're not used to holding that much material because they can't ship it out, that they're not in the practice of dealing with that.
Correct.
And that causes issues that they're not prepared for. And let's face it, let's be honest, at most workplaces, policy changes and safety practices don't come into place until after some shit happens. Because normally that's when they go, oh shit, we probably should spend this extra little bit of money to fix this problem so it doesn't happen again. So I can completely see where, I'm sure they probably all have similar practices and similar things that they do in these factories, and then you add thousands of pounds of extra, raw material or raw food or whatever that they process, and I can see where that can lead to some issues, some storage issues. They probably had to put that shit where it wasn't supposed to be put at, so that they try not to lose profits, and then it goes up in flames. Yeah.
And corn's even worse because the government actually pays.
Right.
It truly pays farmers just to grow corn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And it may never get used. And it's like...
They also regulate and make them get rid of, extra. It's like the government only lets them put so much corn out there on the market. And the rest of it, they have to just get rid of. Yep. Like, they just dump it or whatever.
And they also pay...
I don't understand why they don't just ship that to homeless shelters or something, but... or even a third world country or something.
So people like Elon has said this, like when you talk about ending world hunger.
Right.
Like there are...
Like we dump thousands and thousands of pounds of food.
It's fairly easily done. Like you just got to have a process and have a thing in place, again.
But you can't control the global food market if you freaking flooding it with free product,
Or you're paying farmers not to farm.
Right.
So there's a CPR program across it's a federal program. They'll actually pay farmers to let fields grow.
And not farm it?
Not farm them for years.
Can I get on that? Because I don't want to farm, but I'll take some money not to farm.
So what the farmers go ahead and do in this exchange is lease it to hunters. It can't be farmed. It can't be, they pay you
the deer will come eat it, right, or whatever? Is that what?
What's that?
It's like the deer will come eat it, and
the farmers, they'll still plant it. And they lease it to hunters. Because, you ever go into a cornfield, massive amounts of deer.
Right. That's
You
what I'm
know?
saying. Yeah, it's a hunting on a baited field, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not.
It's
So it's not
natural.
baited because as
Right.
long as it's planted, it's
Right,
not
right.
baited.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So
That's nuts.
and they got to.
So if anybody out there from the government, if you want to pay me not to farm,
you got to own the land first.
I mean, I own my backyard.
That's not
It's got to be
nothing.
worth something.
Nothing.
Like I promise,
I mean, it's
won't-
worth something to you.
I mean, I promise I won't plant any corn in my backyard if they pay me.
So even for like,
If not, I'm going to the freaking market today.
yeah. So anything, most states there, it's 80 acres
Oh, okay.
To
Yeah, I don't
get-
own that much.
to get any. Kind
I mean, how
of-
much they paying? Because, you know,
It's not much.
Oh,
Not for 80 acres, but when you own 10,000 acres
Right.
and they're paying $7 an acre,
probably more than it would make if they actually
you
harvested
know,
the corn.
$70,000 a year to do nothing.
Yeah, I'll take
They
that.
take it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, I mean, farmers make high revenue, but extremely low margins.
I bet, yeah.
And then when fuel and diesel goes up,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
decimates them. You know, but then again,
And then sometimes the harvests get ruined and shit. Like it's a narrow, yeah.
very very small margins.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess it's like most things like that. You do it for a labor of love. You do it out of tradition. You do it out of
That's what they know. You know,
Nobody gets
Right.
into farming or ranching to be like, I'm gonna get rich. It's
Right.
like being a teacher. You know, like it's just not something that happens. But yeah, it's. But how do you not, like you said, how do you not say there's some kind of conspiracy involved? When,
Oh, I could completely see why that leads to conspiracy, but I could also see, like, logically why, you know, that domino effect that leads to that shit.
yeah, because when you isolate each incident, you look at it, it's like, okay, it makes complete sense.
Right.
You know?
It's just hard for me to believe, man. There's some people out there just burning freaking, like this big conspiracy, like the Illuminati is just burning freaking food
what they
processing
think.
plants so that we get hungry.
Yeah, baby formula. Like they're busting up into these baby formula factories. It's where
Yeah, I
you
don't
can't get
believe that,
baby
man.
formula.
It's rough, bro.
You know?
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe there is like a secret new world order that's freaking trying to control baby formula.
see.
But like,
I think that's just a damn comedy routine. Like I honestly
hard for me to
can't
believe
seriously
that.
wrap my mind around that.
right? I can't.
Just like I don't know, probably the whole, like you said, you brought it up, like the whole Illuminati thing. Like there's this new world order. There's this organization. You know,
like from the shadows, secretly controlling the world. And look, I could be wrong, man. You know,
of course you could be.
but I just, man, that's hard, bro.
It's kind of like a hiding in plain sight. You know,
Right.
it's just, is it?
Hard to believe that.
Is it really
And look,
happening?
I really believe if you follow the money, you know, like you probably have some of that stuff going on, right? Like, you know, we talked briefly about all the.
Control?
Well, just like so. Take. I hate to get down this because it's kind of late, but like,
Here we go.
but you take like China for instance, right? That's a big money market, so they are going to have a lot of control of certain narratives and certain type of things, and you know, you're going to have owners of sports teams and owners of media outlets and owners of XYZ movie production company that's gonna want to tap that money market, you know, so they're gonna kind of spit the same narrative, right? So I mean, I guess we look at it in that retrospect, that yeah, okay, maybe, but to say there's like a conscious effort of like 5 individuals who are from the shadows putting together all these pieces like they're playing some intricate 3D chess match. That's
like
hard for me
Bill
to believe,
Gates
man.
and
Yeah.
Elon, and like you take the
Yeah, like they
10
have like little secret
billionaires.
meetings where they're smoking cigars in like a back room and they're discussing world domination, like Austin Powers style or something. That's hard to believe, man. Just it's hard for me to wrap my head around that one.
I can't, like, because most of those guys, like, they don't even like each other.
Right.
So you're telling me they're conspiring to.
Like we could put on this big show.
The narratives that they don't like each other.
Right, but really secretly they all on the same yacht with little hairless cats. You know, like
It's like the Simpson thing, right? They say like the Simpsons have predicted the future, like Austin Powers, right? Like that's
Yeah.
actually happening.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Simpsons guys are just psychic.
I mean, have you seen that?
Look, so look, look. Some of it, I think they just got extremely lucky, but like, it's kind of like Notre Dame, right? If I wrote a book 4,000 years ago, some of the shit I say is gonna come true.
Yeah, at
Like,
some
it
point,
it's that whole, you know,
Twin Towers will fall. I'm sure some twin towers will
Right,
fall somewhere
right.
in this world in
There's
4,000
it's
years.
that whole premise behind if you put a chimpanzee on a typewriter and
He'll
he
make a
goes,
word.
eventually he will write like I forget what it was like
It was like a Shakespeare play
like
or
a
something.
Shakespeare play. Yeah, like eventually he's going to hit the infinite amount of combinations. At some point, it may take him a gazillion years, but he will write Shakespeare. You know, just out of sheer accident. So, yeah, it's a true theory, and it's believable because there's the possibilities of key combinations is also infinite. So, eventually that combination will come together, and he will have written a Shakespeare play.
So I mean, it kind of goes, I guess, along with like the Big Bang Theory. Like people say that people that are anti-Big Bang Theory say that it's impossible.
I don't think anything's impossible.
I agree with that 100%. But it's impossible that one big explosion has created, this perfect balance.
I think it's just sheer accident, man. Like I think, like people don't understand.
Right on,
Some
brother.
things are just accidental. Like it's not like just the right at that
Wasn't on
moment in
purpose,
time.
yeah.
Like the right things got, and then bam, under the right circumstances, yeah. There might have been a gazillion Big Bangs before that, and this was the one that.
I mean, if you dive down into what they're at now in the universe, that there's over 10 billion galaxies.
Right.
Like, I can't wrap my head around that either.
Now, see, like this. I'm not trying to go down all these rabbit, especially the time we spent talking about Jamaica, but so like. Life forms on another planet is something I completely believe is possible, and it's just because of the vast amount of universe that they have out there. Like it's,
I know you're a big Democrat fan.
oh yeah,
So
got a big old.
there's
t-shirt
a
and stuff.
recent I don't know where it was, Bill Clinton interview. Bill Clinton was like huge.
Yeah, that's not a recent interview. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Area
This is the one I think it is. It's not recent.
Well, I mean, I say it's been in the last couple of years. And they asked him about
Area 51.
Yeah, and he said, well,
UFOs
he
and
had a chief of staff, and they really pushed to uncover.
Well, one of his things was like, I'm going to find out when he went into the
Yes.
White House because he was big into that.
Yes, he still is.
Yeah.
And they said, well, he said he talked with some of the top, NASA and security advisors, and he was like, okay, so I want like a real answer, And they said, well, yes, we have vast discussions about life, outside of extraterrestrial life. And he says, so what's the arguments about? Like, where does everybody stand on it? And he says, well, half of us believe that it's 85% probable, and the other half of us believe that it's 95% probable. and he said at that point, I was like, okay, like question's been answered.
Right.
If you have all these top guys and they're like that's their argument and that's their discussions.
Do I believe that?
You know,
we've been visited. Who knows? But I think there's something out there. There's got to be.
You know what?
If not,
I
that's
said
a lonely
nothing's
ass
impossible.
universe,
I
man.
think it's impossible not to.
Not to what?
Not to have something else out there.
Right.
It's
And I'm not saying it looks like us, and
no.
But who knows, man? There might be a not so wide divide podcast
You
on
hear
another
that
planet somewhere out there.
the
Tell them to come holler at
alternative
us.
dimensions and
But that would make us get some views, huh?
Hopefully they won't
First
go talking to
extraterrestrials
you.
land in South Louisiana, come talk to us on our podcast.
then you brought up
like,
the whole
eat your heart out, Elon.
He isn't.
He might be. He might be. Elon, come on our podcast, man. We'll find out if you're really an alien.
I really think he's the visitor.
He might be.
Are you saying that the whole, people want those markets? Like, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there was a vast population difference. I didn't realize it was that. The United States population is 331 million. China's population is 1.4 billion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
India's almost 1.4 billion.
Right.
So it's like this whole idea that
Oh, yeah, the Asian market, and I'm saying Asian, not just China. Like the Asian market is freaking.
Indonesia's got 270.
Yeah, it's like half the world's population almost, like right over there. Yeah,
8 billion people, approximately 8 billion people live on Earth.
Right.
And, almost 4 billion is Asian
Right.
population.
Right. Yeah. So that's even if a third of that likes the Lakers, that's a lot of jerseys, bro. A lot.
Yeah, that's nuts though. I didn't.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Right.
Yeah, so they definitely need to.
That's why a lot of those corporations will bend over backwards for China
I mean, it's
because they want access to that market, man.
literally almost 5 times out of the United States.
Right. Right. And the Chinese government controls what they can and cannot get there.
Watch, wear.
Right. So it's
It's
it's almost like a perfect market if you're trying to sell your product
if
because you don't have
get in,
competition, right? If
they
you
allow
get
you in, it's in.
right?
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think even like the food chains, KFC, those places, they make them change their menu.
Oh yeah,
Like it's not even like
Right.
KFC here and a KFC there.
yeah. Well, like I mean, we talked a little bit beforehand. You take certain movies, the American version and the Chinese version are not the same.
Yeah,
It's because they make them edit and take out a lot of stuff.
that's crazy. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Monkeypox, baby. What you know about monkeypox?
I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail for this one. So I can word this properly. Monkeypox is, from what I've read, came from like one homosexual. I don't want to say party, but like a fest. What do you call those things? Like a festival type thing, like a week-long homosexual festival in like Germany or something like that. Most of the monkeypox cases can be traced back to that festival. There was a lot of sexual things
true?
going on. Yes, yeah. There was a lot of sexual activity going on during that week-long fest, and like 90% of all the monkeypox cases can be traced back to. I don't know if it's quite 90, but it might even be more than that. But that's where the vast majority of that monkeypox came from. Was somebody from another country that had monkeypox went there, and that kind of spread it out, and that's how it spread. So if you're not going to like a homosexual festival in Germany, or I think Germany,
So
I think
is that the only way it can be transmitted? I know.
No, I don't.
Nothing about
I don't
it.
I don't think that's the only way it can be transmitted. But that's like I guess the most common transmittal is like body fluid. Like it's not airborne. That kind of stuff.
Oh, I saw that. I thought it was a joke when I first
Right.
people were talking about it. I saw it on social media and stuff. I was
But
like,
they have vaccines for that too.
I didn't think it. You gonna take it?
No. If I was going to a homosexual festival in Europe, I would.
But why? If it's not the only way it can be transmitted. Oh, okay. So this is as of May 23rd. Monkeypox outbreak is primarily spread through sex.
Yep. There you go.
So if you are not engaging
Yeah, like
in sexual activity with somebody infected with monkeypox,
right.
you have
And I'm a happily married guy,
It's
so I'm pretty
very-
safe. I'm not going to catch monkeypox.
okay. Yeah. But it's so much part of the news now.
And I'm sure. Well, of course it is. They gotta play sleight of hand. But like if you Google like
It's
I
like
don't know.
what are they moving?
I don't
from or
know.
Something else.
I don't know. But it's always something. That's how they do,
I thought
bro.
you don't believe in conspiracy.
I didn't say I don't believe in conspiracy. I said some of them are just harder to swallow than others. Go like just Google like gay festival or something. Small monkeypox gay festival.
No,
Go Google that.
I know what you're
Why?
talking about. I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
Google monkeypox gay festival. But I hope you got your safe filter on because there might be some pictures.
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Got
Why?
that, got that.
Go ahead, Google that, Brennan. Monkeypox gay festival. Tell Kim that I made you do that if she checks your search history.
I don't want that to, like Google it.
Look, is that it? Yeah, look, gay festivals linked to monkeypox outbreak in European. You went to the wrong one, man.
No,
I never
Yeah, look at that.
all kinds.
Yeah, that's where it came. I'm not being
I know. I've heard
ugly.
that.
Like that's where it came from. Like you ought to read some of the festivities they had in there. They had like a stud and mare festivity, where you either a stud, a mare, or the person that was holding the leash. It was crazy.
Horse, huh?
If you, you know, whatever. Different strokes, different folks, I guess. But I'm not trying to judge. I just wish that they would be protective of monkeypox at these festivals, man.
All the monkeys that they're infecting.
A gay fetish festival in Belgium. That's it. Can you get monkeypox from a fetish festival in Belgium? Oh, it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's a horrible disease.
No, yeah, I'm not taking nothing from. Like, I wish those people wouldn't. I don't think just because you're at a gay festival that you should catch monkeypox. I just I'm not trying to be ugly. That's where a lot of these cases have come from. Like, I'm not I think it's horrible. I don't want those gay people to catch that. You know, and most of it's male. It's not really big in the lesbian community. They're a little more selective on their partners.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with HIV. Then.
Right. It's because males like to hump.
Creep.
You know,
Well, and
you get a bunch of gay dudes together. It doesn't change the fact that they're sexually active and strong, and I guess less picky than their female counterparts. It happens.
That's not going to be taken well. Like,
I'm not saying you know what I mean. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm a dude. I get it. You know.
Yeah, that's just. I'm scared somebody's going to clip all that out. If you'd be Joe Rogan, you'd be get canceled.
Right now. I'd be
tough.
canceled right now. Yeah, I mean, edit it if you got to edit it. I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be like monkeypox, and that's another episode of Not So Far. You guys have
Shit.
monkeypox vaccine. Have a good day.
So who you voting for in 2024?
I don't know who's running.
As of right now,
I mean, give me some names, man. Give me some names. I'll put it out there. Is DeSantis running?
did you hear the news on that?
Uh-uh.
So this was this week.
I told you, bro. It's
Elon said if he runs,
if DeSantis runs,
he's gonna
Vice
back
President?
him.
Oh, he's gonna back him.
Yep.
Oh,
He said I'd vote for him tomorrow.
that's huge, man.
Okay, like that was. But he's like he's a politician.
Yeah.
I'm worried about 2022 right now. We have to make sure,
Right.
Because they were asked.
Did you see? He gave a lot of tax breaks in Florida recently, man. Like like Floridians are not got to pay like state tax for gas, baby food. I think there's a couple other things like for like a year to help kind of ease the burden on people in Florida. He's given like a state tax break to those people. It's gonna cost them like the state like a 1 billion dollars, but that's gonna be extra money in the pockets of Floridians. I thought that was awesome.
Miami-Dade's still not going to be happy. Miami-Dade County and Broward County won't be happy.
Why? Well,
That's your two most heavily, your two
liberal.
counties that are very liberal.
liberal counties.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'd say DeSantis versus Trump.
Well, that's what this article says.
He
would be Trump's most severe rival.
I think he beats Trump, man.
I do too.
And look, there's no
Mike
secret I
Pence
like
is
Trump.
supposed to be running.
F Pence. You heard it here first. F Pence.
Nikki Haley,
I don't know who that is.
look her up. She's
So I think the Democrats.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, no.
Really? Mike Pompeo. Can't see that happening.
No.
Tim Scott. Kristi Noem. She's a governor of South Dakota. They're saying that she's got irons in the fire to run.
I heard some good things about South Dakota.
Kristi Noem has done so.
And I'm sure
She's kind of controversial in the conservative aspect because she was against the Keystone Pipeline because of, you know, the native lands that it crosses and all of that
Right.
situation. But she's also about an alternative, right? Like, she's not against the Keystone Pipeline
because it's oil.
as correct. She's against it because it's gonna wreck a lot
Environmentally, right,
of,
okay.
and it's gonna wreck their like.
I think that's worth looking at. Like, I don't disagree with that, you know. Especially, like, there's a difference in being pro-environment and being anti-oil,
Correct.
right? I am not for pollutant and all that other, I'm for, let's save our environment as much as we can, you know.
Somebody, I agree with Cody 100%, maybe percent. But so, of our recent travels of the last few years, even through COVID and all this stuff, I am so like we it's nothing in Louisiana. Like, you don't even see it. Like, I'm running over right now. Like, everywhere you go outside of the state or anywhere outside of the South, nobody has straws anymore.
Oh, that aggravates the shit out of me.
I don't mind. I
I
don't
don't like
mind
the paper straws. We got metal. We bring metal straws with us.
But I don't mind not
like.
drinking out of a straw.
I don't
I'm
mind
okay
it.
with it.
I don't
But
want a paper straw.
cardboard, paper.
Right.
Stop.
Just give me a regular cup.
Just give me a cup.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna wash it. I eat with the silverware.
Like, exactly.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Like, if I'm at a restaurant,
because if you put a straw, I'm going to use it, and I put it
Yes.
on my lips, and I'm like, oh shit, it's that cardboard
Right.
shit. You know, and you sticks. To, like, oh, it's trash. Stop.
like,
You're wasting cardboard.
so my thing is, if I go, but the problem is a lot of the vessels they bring you your drink in, you almost have to use a straw with it because that's the way it's designed. But I'm fine with a cup. Like, if I go to your restaurant, I'm going to eat out of a plate that you washed. I'm going to eat with the silverware that you washed on a table that you cleaned. You know, eating food prepared by somebody else that hopefully washed their hands.
That didn't have gloves on.
I can't drink out of a cup that you washed. You know, like,
You preach to the choir.
right? Just do away with the straw
Just
altogether,
Stop making straws.
right?
Stop making straws.
Or bring us some metal ones and
and
just
stop
clean them
making
good.
dimes. Another pet peeve I have.
dimes.
A dime. What's the point of a dime?
I don't know. I don't like. I don't know.
Just
It
a
make
pet
most
peeve.
change with the nickels.
Huh?
It makes most change with the nickels. You know.
That's what, like you don't need anything else to make up a dime.
Right.
Like, they're small, they're insignificant, they really don't mean shit.
There's got to be a reason why they made a dime at some point.
No, because they minted it. That's why.
I, mean, I don't know.
Dimes are the
Somebody
least-
was like,
dimes are the least used coin.
why were they all shiny?
I mean, it's true. They're the